Can I be a Christian and still have doubts about my faith? If you cannot, I am not a Christian. Now, across the years, the more I have experienced life and faith, I began realizing that thoughtful people are going to keep on encountering challenges to the faith, many of which, after 50-some years of ministry and I don't know how many academic degrees and a lot of prayer and listening to a lot of wise and godly people, I haven't found answers for. And I think somewhere back there, I began realizing two things. One is that you will never have all the answers, that you cannot totally prove the faith, and that the most brilliant of learned of people will go to their graves with huge questions that are unanswered. And secondly, that doubt can be a healthy part of faith, that doubt and faith are not opposites. And my favorite passage that helped me see that was the man in the Gospel of Mark that comes to Jesus with a son who is demon-possessed, and sometimes the father says to Jesus he falls in the fire, sometimes he falls in the water, and if you can do anything. And Jesus says, if. All things are possible to him that believes. In other words, he's saying the power of God is unlimited. But the man's answer just tears at my heart still. He said, well, Lord, I believe, but would you help me with my unbelief? And Jesus didn't say, no, you don't believe. Time out. If you got doubts, you don't believe. He responded to the man as a believer, an honest person on his journey into the heart of God. And I thought, ooh, my doubts don't mean I'm not a believer. They may be a normal part of at least the faith of some people. To discover the truth was like being liberated from a prison, because I had defined faith as having no doubts. And so I thought, I'm not abnormal, I'm not sick, I'm not bad, I'm not an unbeliever. I've got a mustard seed, and I'm going to live my life asking that he will help me with my unbelief. And he has. He has not taken away every doubt. He has not answered every question. But there is a web of faith woven around my heart across the years of following him, where I've discovered on levels I couldn't explain to anybody and levels I can explain that he has validated himself to be true. I think that God would have a whole lot greater sense of approval of someone being honest about their doubts than to pretend they don't have them and try to sweep them under the rug. With God, integrity is of utmost importance. There may be some people whose faith isn't honeycombed with doubt, but I think the majority of believers at times have huge doubts and never totally escape some of those insoluble questions. But that doesn't mean they're non-believers. I believe, but help me with my unbelief. It's in there too.